call the meeting to order at 5:31. Reading of the promise statement. We promise to provide a supportive environment where unique learning experiences empower all for their chosen life adventure. Are there any additional items for the agenda? If not, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
That's Tim Burke. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Kendra Hain. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Recognition of visitors and open forum. We don't have anybody signed up. Reports and presentations. Any committee reports? Did we have any things since our last meeting? Probably not. I don't think so. Okay. Superintendent report.
For me, we're just plugging away. We got down to, sorry. For me, we're just plugging away. We had our final nurse interview today, so we'll be making an offer. I'll either make that either later this evening or tomorrow morning right away. So we have that. We're working at getting some of the newer teachers expediting their licenses, so we have them before school starts. My stuff is at the state. They haven't acknowledged that they have it yet, but once they do, Mr. Lee will expedite my license also, so we have it by September 1st. Just a couple other things. As I've been learning more about the board meetings and everything, one thing I'd like to do for next year is move the handbooks to July, so we can get them to the board in July, and then we would approve them in August. So that gives everybody a month to go through them, changes, because there's been not a lot. There's been a number of things that have come back to us to make corrections on, or little changes. Rather than trying to do it in 4 days, I'd rather see us try and do it over a month. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I know I called. We had a lot of things to go through. I had 2 phone calls to get through it also. That would be nice to have them earlier.
Right.
For the nurse, their timeline, if we do get an acceptance, are they able to start before school starts?
It sounds like they would be able to start before school starts. The goal would be that they would start within the next week or so. Because I'd really like their advice on where we're going with our preparedness plan and any changes that are being made with the state. Any other questions for me right now?
Okay, we'll go on to 6C, budget information, enrollment update.
Numbers keep going up. We've had
That's good.
2, 3, 4 new enrollments in the elementary since last week. And I saw 2, I think, come into the high school since last week. So, which is a good issue to have. So we'll keep looking at our enrollments as they increase in how we can fit everybody into the building. But I think we're good right now.
Good to hear.
Do we currently send a bus into Eagle Lake?
Yeah, we send a bus into, Eagle Lake.
Or were they just on the schedule, but we didn't have to send anyone?
They were on their schedule, but we didn't have a pickup there because there were no students signed up at this time.
Okay.
But we go to Eagle Lake, Madison Lake, Waterville, Waseca,
Elysian.
Elysian.
and Elysian. Yep.
Do we go to St. Clair?
Yep, right. We have.
We have, but I don't know that we have anybody down there right now. So, I think we go into New Richland also.
Okay.
And that's something we have to sign off every year on, letting the surrounding school districts know that we're sending a bus into their school district, so.
So what school districts send buses into our district? New Richland, St. Clair?
New Richland,
Maple-
St. Clair.
Maple River probably does too.
Maple River might be just on the border.
On the south, yep.
USC?
Waseca does not. Waterville does not. I haven't seen an agreement from Waterville.
USC?
Probably.
Probably. I don't know for sure. Tom, have you seen any of those agreements? I can't hear you.
You're on mute. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
Because I
Is the
don't
volume
remember
on
us having
speakers
approved
turned
on
on?
anyone, maybe we don't have to.
Maybe we don't have to.
That's why I was kind of surprised that they have to send it to us, because I
Said
don't
zero.
remember ever seeing that.
Now can you talk?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Too
You
much.
blew us away.
No, I haven't seen any of the agreements.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add, Tom? Since you may have been muted and I didn't notice.
Nope,
Okay.
nope.
I have a
I think
question.
that's a good decision to bring those handbooks to the board in July. That's a good decision.
So, Jeremy, Tom, I don't know which one, but do the other schools, does that come to the school board for us to look at? Because I don't ever remember hearing like other schools saying, you know, this is the first I heard that they have to send something to us to say they're gonna send a bus into our district.
Tom, is that something new that other school districts have to send us an agreement or a paper?
No, so basically, the, what I remember, is that we just informed the other districts that we're sending, by law, you have to inform that we're sending buses into their area. And I don't think we expect anything back. We just inform them. Now, if they're gonna send buses into, JWP, then they would have to send us a form. But it's no agreement. It's just, we're doing that.
It's just information.
Notification, courtesy.
Yeah,
It's a notification courtesy letter.
Correct.
okay.
I have not seen any from other districts as of right now.
I don't know of any other district that does it except for JWP. There might be a couple like up north that do it, but as far as southern Minnesota, JWP is the only one that I was familiar with. And they've done it every year for dating back at least till 2013.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions on the enrollment update? All right, historical cash balance. Any questions on that? The graph there. Anybody's got any questions? Okay. All right, number 7, approval of consent agenda. As always, you can remove any item that you want. Any questions or any clarification that anybody needs? If not, do we have a motion to approve the, oh, yep, go ahead.
I do have just
Yep.
one question, and so the leave of absence for Jennifer St. John request, is it a COVID, is it?
Yeah, do you guys want to talk about that?
What it is Jen has a medical condition she's had for a number of years, and she's been working with, her doctors and everything. So she felt it would be best to take a year of absence to focus on that, and then she would sub on sub as much as she can. So
Okay.
we have a doctor's, we have a note telling us how, or that she can or can't sub, so.
Yep, okay, thank you.
Good question.
We did get that.
Yes, we did get that.
Perfect.
Any other clarifying questions?
How many openings do we have, or what do we have open right now, outside of the nurse?
Outside of the nurse, right now we have openings for paraprofessionals. Other than that, everything else should be filled from within. Or we've made some adjustments.
And maybe I forgot this, did we hire a replacement for Mr. Adams then?
Yes, it's on the personnel staff changes.
I must have missed that, but,
I think I did too.
Me too.
So did I.
She on there?
I thought I put her on there.
on the sake
Well,
of,
maybe I didn't because we don't have her contract yet.
Can we ask who that is?
Her name is Krista Bauer. She's new to town,
okay.
a new teacher, so.
So we did find somebody for him, and it's
Yes,
just,
we did find somebody for Mr. Adams.
okay,
And we just have some adjusting going on within our special education department to cover for the case facilitator.
okay. All right.
Good questions. Any others? All right. If not, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
That's Tim Johnson. Do we have a second?
I can second.
That's Tim Burke. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Old business, second readings of new policies and existing policies. Any questions, anything, anybody?
Last time we
Wants to
talked about
use-
changing some wording on them, and I don't think that got changed. I don't know if we decided to do that or not.
That's right.
make it more consistent.
The consistent,
Yeah.
yep,
That was still on there.
okay. Good catch.
I'll look through them and make sure that those changes get done before our next reading.
Okay. Thank you. At least you have a little bit more time this time to do.
Yeah.
I know our last meeting was
True.
not too long ago, so. All right, any other questions on those? All right, on to new business.
Okay, can we go back
Yep,
just a second?
Yep, go ahead.
As far as policies, if there's changes or wording that we want to make, we have time to make that now, up until we approve it at our third reading.
Yep.
So, anything, if there's changes you want to make in their things, just let Wendy or myself know. We can make those changes, let everybody know that they've been changed prior to the third reading and the approval in September.
So the third reading is the approval, right? It's
Yes,
not a
the third
and
reading
then-
is
yeah.
the approval.
Right. Okay,
And Jeremy, the admin team wanted to change in the visitor policy, remember? Because there was a component of that visitor policy that basically said kids can't use their cell phones, and we argued, we wouldn't argue, but we debated what that meant, and we felt like it didn't belong in a visitor policy, remember? And so we took
Yes.
that out.
okay. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? All right, new business, approval of JWP Public Schools Fiscal Compliance and Procedure Manual for 2021-2022 school year. Any discussion, comments? I doubt you made the
Yeah.
changes that we talked about
There
today,
were
so.
a couple changes on here
yeah.
with our website. It still had our old mission statement on it, so that got changed to the promise statement. Obviously, after it's approved, we'll go through and take out everything that has to strike through to clean it up.
And I just noticed in some of the manuals and stuff, we had our old mission statement instead of our promise statement, and then there was some weird formatting things going on in some of these, and you'll see it on the first page of that fiscal manual too. So I think they're gonna work on cleaning up some of that. The wording was fine for most of those, it was just the format looked funky.
Just speaking of our website though, who's in charge of keeping that updated?
Our website,
Yeah, like, because there's personnel on there that aren't here. You know, some of those links and stuff, they still have personnel that aren't here. I went on to try and find some of because we couldn't make the softball, volleyball schedule, and there's not a schedule for like the JV. You have to go like week by week to see when their games are. So I'm just wondering, I don't know who all does the updating, but that's something we probably should look at. I know it can be cumbersome, but there are, I think, still some people on there that are no longer with the district.
yeah, so that's another thing we'll go through. I'll talk with Mike Beardy, the tech director,
Okay.
and see who's done that in the past, and
Yeah.
we'll make sure we get that all
I think it'd
updated.
probably be him.
Since we're talking about that too, I think some of the voicemail messaging too is still Bill.
Is it Bill or is it Mike? Cause I
I don't know,
thought it was
it was a
Bill.
while ago that
Okay.
but now that we're talking about that, I just remembered.
Are the,
Yeah.
you mean like the recorded voice?
Yeah, or there
recorded
was,
ones?
oh, yeah, maybe.
There was one that I thought was Bill, but I think it's Mike.
Oh, okay.
So you might be thinking the same
Okay.
too. Yeah, that's what I thought. It is Mike.
And there is a filter where you can click view schedules on the activities calendar, and you can pick JV football, and it'll give you a list of games. And
Do you see
Oh,
JV
does it?
volleyball on there for
Okay,
them?
maybe I wasn't looking in the right spot then too. Cause I was
Maybe.
looking in the actual volleyball section of the activities.
Oh,
And
Oh, you
Go
said
to the
volleyball,
general
I thought you
calendar.
said football.
Okay.
Yeah, I said volleyball,
All right.
so I didn't know if it was on
Yeah,
there.
show you
and,
afterwards.
I can show you how to
Okay.
look specific.
It's on there, we
Yeah.
can show you
okay.
afterwards, so.
all right.
And it says as of 8/16/21, so today.
yep,
So they
good.
must have just
All right.
updated them today.
And you can
Good.
download it right into your phone too, and it's right on your phone.
You kinda think I know how to do this
Show
technology?
you how to do it, it's sweet. It's really slick. Yeah.
That's why I sit by Wendy, she helps
And then if
me.
something changes, it changes automatically in your phone.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Don't tell my daughter about
next
this.
meeting, we'll get training.
There you go.
We'll create a new committee. Educate Tim Elke.
Oof, that might take a long time.
All right, did we have any other questions on the fiscal manual? Okay, we didn't do the approvals yet, did we? Okay, if not, do we have a motion to approve the JWP Public Schools Fiscal Compliance and Procedure Manual for 2021-2022 school year?
I'll make a motion to approve JWP Public School Fiscal Compliance and Procedure Manual for 2021-2022 school year.
That's Scott Kaminsky, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
That's Tim Elke. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. 9B, approval of special education purchase of services agreements with Wasika Public Schools for the 2021-2022 school year. Jeremy, do you want to talk about this at all before we
I
get
will.
into it?
The one I'd like, or there's three specifically I'd like to talk about. First one is the special education. And on here, it says that it doesn't give a specific percentage. And the reason that is because there's 4 people, 4 different individuals that we pay for through this service. 3 of the individuals, we pay 21% of their salaries, or of the agreement. The other one is 11%. So they couldn't put a specific percentage in there. That's why it just says percentage. If you were to go to the cost breakdown underneath, you can see who the people are, and then and then this one is 11% because it's broke down over 5 categories rather than 4. That's why it says percent in there rather than an actual number percentage. The next one is Roman numeral 4. That's the physical therapist contract. We contract 2 physical therapists. Actually, there's 4 physical therapists, 2 of them. Sorry, let me say this again. 4 districts, 2 physical therapists. One of the physical therapists covers JWP and Waterville. The other physical therapist covers New Richland and Wasika. So what they do is they use the numbers of how many students are receiving those services at each building, and that's where we get a percentage. So the percentage we cover is 30% in physical therapy, not 21. And that's just because of the number of students that receive those services here in comparison to the other school district. And then number 5 is early childhood special education teacher contract. The reason this is in here, and there's no dollar amount set to it at this point, it's just a what if. Right now, our early childhood special education teacher is at her max for caseload. So if we get more students referred, specifically in that birth to the age 3 category, we may be contracting with Wasika to help with the assessments and providing some of those services because of her caseload being maxed out right now.
So if we approve this tonight, it just approves you guys to move forward with any, the amount that you guys determine that
Correct.
you would need? Okay. And when we approve this, we approve it all as one, right?
Yes,
All-
that's the
not-
way it's
Not
written.
each one separate, okay. All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 9B.
That's Tim Burke, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
That's Tim Johnson. Any further discussion? All right, if not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. 9C, approve JWP school district handbooks. Did you want to speak to anything about that, or just let us ask any questions that we?
Go ahead and ask questions. There's a number of things. The one I would talk about would be the wellness handbook, and I'm still trying to get access to that. That goes back to 2017, so I don't know. I might have to get access to Mr. Adams's files in order to access that. So, other than that, they're presented out there for you guys now, but like I said earlier, I'd like to do it in July, so everybody has more time. There are a number of emails that I've received or calls that I've received about a few changes. I know the activities one is one that, we'll be looking at possibly making some changes to at our activities meeting next month also.
And when you make those, if you make those changes, then you'll just bring the,
We'll
You'll
we'll
just-
resubmit it.
Okay.
We'll submit the changes to the school board for approval of changes.
okay. All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve JWP school district handbooks.
That's Tim Johnson. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And that's Scott Kaminsky. Any further discussion?
Do we need to approve these separately because each one
Oh.
of them says approve
Do we?
next to it?
Hmm.
Tom, any advice on that?
Good
Well,
question.
we just did the last one. so
Yeah.
That wouldn't
That's
matter.
one approval for all of them.
Yeah.
This one's,
We do have separate approvals listed, but the numbering is the same
Right.
as above, so, good question.
Hey, Jeremy, now, just thing I was
You
looking.
probably should approve them individually.
Okay.
So you can make updates and changes to this, right? Because I'm just looking at one here. We have Evan Rosa on here
Yeah.
yet, Nicole Olson.
That's the
one
wellness
I
one.
have
He's
not- I
trying to
don't
get
have
access
access
to
to
edit.
yet.
Oh,
I'm still
okay.
working on getting
Okay.
Yeah.
access to that one.
Can you make a copy of it, or does it have to be the original document?
I might be able to make a copy of it. I haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and in some of these, that's what I was saying, sometimes the old mission statement's on there, and some of the formatting is
Mhm.
weird too, so he'll work on cleaning that up.
Okay.
But yeah, good question.
Or does it make sense to have them cleaned up and then, or do we have to approve them this month? To see them with the updated changes that we, of the emails that we sent out, the phone calls and stuff?
Well, you're just worried about activities and wellness are the two that we're still working on, right?
Well, there were some formatting
There were
changes
some
to some of them,
formatting
but,
changes with the others.
and the mission versus
Promise.
promise statement, so I guess
Do we need to approve them today?
we could wait till the next meeting, I suppose, right?
We can, they won't go live for, until then, but that's
For families to.
for families to see. I would say the most important one that we would, there's two that I'd like to see us approve today if possible, would be the parent and student handbook, and then the employee. And then we could for sure bring those, or bring all of them back next month with any changes that have been made.
Did the SAC and Kids Corner need anything changed on those? I didn't really notice.
Those, I think
There was
those
one
were
that I saw,
fine.
I think it was already fixed though, so.
So we can approve the first two and then or I think it's postpone indefinitely for the other four? Is that the right wording, Tom? I don't know if I said that right.
When's the activity meeting?
September.
20th?
September 20th, same time, same night as our next school board meeting.
So active, so the wellness handbook, that's already sitting out there on the website under the wellness policy until the new policy has been adopted. And so that certainly can wait. The activity one probably should be done by the time the activity night rolls around. Staff, the staff and the parent-student one could be approved tonight, and any changes could be approved at the next board meeting.
So would it just be easier if we
Approve.
approved them tonight and then came back and we can make updates? Because we can make updates to them like in the next month if we needed to, correct? So I don't know,
Absolutely.
what would be the easiest?
I like that idea,
Yeah,
is just approve them all tonight, and then we redline the changes we make for the board, and then they can approve the changes next month.
yeah,
Yep.
I think that's a good idea too. Okay, so we'll go down each one then. Do we have a motion for the first one?
I'll make a motion for C1.
That's Tim Burke. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Tim Melky. Any further discussion on the parent-student handbook? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Do we have a motion for C2?
I'll make motion to approve C2.
That's Scott Kaminsky. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Kendra Hain. Any further discussion on the employee handbook? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Do we have a motion for C3?
I'll make a motion to approve C3.
That's Tim Johnson. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Tim Burke. Any further discussion on the activities handbook? If not, do we, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Do we have a motion for C4?
I'll make a motion for C4.
That's Tim Burke. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Kendra Hain. Any further discussion on the wellness handbook? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Do we have a motion on C5?
I'll make a motion on C5.
That's Tim Melky. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Scott Kaminsky. Any further discussion on the parent SAC wraparound handbook? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Do we have a motion on C6?
I'll make a motion on C6.
That's Tim Burke. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Tim Johnson. Any further discussion on the Parent Kids Corner handbook? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. All right, 9D, approve resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an energy services agreement and financing agreement with Site Logic. Do you want to talk about that at all before we go?
This really comes down to a formality, because you've already agreed to it in our, with them. So it was just saying that we would agree to it again, or who the contract was through this month. And we did have a one agreement submitted by last Friday at 3 o'clock, and it was through Site Logic. So it's that agreement for the amount that they originally proposed.
And where was that RFP published?
I think it was in the Janesville newspaper, wasn't it?
I think so.
And that's it?
Yep.
That's all I know.
It also goes out, there is like a construction website of some kind that it also went to. I
Okay.
can't remember the name of that website though.
And how long was that posted? Does it need to be for 2 weeks, right?
At least, I think.
And then, okay.
Good questions.
I'll see if I can't find the name of that website.
I know which website you're talking about.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure it went out to enough places. That was weird, we didn't see any others. Especially with a lot of them in Mankato.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion for 9D?
I'll make a motion for 9D.
That's Tim Burke. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
And that's Tim Johnson. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh, yes, you're right. Sorry. Good catch.
Elke,
Yes.
Size,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Hain,
No.
Kaminsky,
Yes.
Cahill.
Yes.
All right. Motion passes 6-1. All right, number 10, approve resolution accepting donations. And I will pull them up here. So we have a donation $500 from Lake Elysian Watershed Association for a scholarship award. Another $500 from Steel Waseca Cooperative Electric for a scholarship award. And a $300 scholarship award from Waseca County American Dairy Association. So do we have a motion for 10?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution accepting donations with many thanks.
That's Kendra Hain. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Tim Burke. And that's a resolution as well.
Size,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Hain,
Yes.
Kaminsky,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Elke.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 7-0. Number 11, upcoming meetings, actually we have a Buildings and Ground meeting right after this. And then September 20th, our regular meeting, followed by Activities Committee meeting. And October 4th, our study session, followed by Finance Committee meeting. Meeting is adjourned at 6:04.